All right, hello everybody. I'm John Cooper with the John Cooper Group, Remax of Nanaimo, and we're coming to you live from Unit 601 at 540 Stewart Avenue here in beautiful Brecon Hill, just steps to Departure Bay, equally short distance to downtown. And the purpose of this video is to introduce you to Patti Ransom, who was the interior designer for this project. So what she has done here is absolutely transformed this condo. Everything's been touched and everything has been updated. I don't think there's a square inch in here that hasn't been updated, or at least it sure looks like that. And so I want to walk you through here and have Patti explain to you some of the thoughtfulness that went into the design to really make this appear to be essentially a new condo. Patti and I started working together a couple of years ago. She was specifically interested in this building because of its location, because of its very well constructed buildings, and it's also has an extremely well run strata corporation. So great financials. It's just a great starting place for this process. So Patti, why don't you explain some of the design decisions made in here?
Sure. The big part was that we did love the building, and I'd had a suite in this building before, and so recognized that the location was really great for me because I spent a lot of time back and forth in Vancouver. But as well, I really appreciated that the exterior of the building was really quite timeless. And so although it's a 25-year-old development, it doesn't look it or feel it from the outside. So loved all of the sort of mature foliage and all of those things, but I really also appreciated the layout of the space. So for 1,242 square feet, it lives really large. We've got normal sized furniture in here, and I don't ever get that sense of being inside of a small space. So, the big part of designing for smaller homes, it's 1,242, it's not 3,000 square feet, is about not just maximizing the physical use of the space, but also maximizing that sense of space. So we're very conscious of making sure that our finishes are continuous and coordinated to the point that there's a real nice flow to everything. So we've used the engineered oak floor all the way through.
Every room has it.
Every room, well, except for the bathrooms. We did beautiful tiles for that. But we also made a point of our trim work all being the same color. It's a different sheen and a different finish, but it's the same color as the walls, so that the eyes don't stop at every single doorway and every single window trim and all of those things. So we, jokingly had people, I think they were joking, asking if we'd raised the ceilings. It's like, no, we didn't raise the ceilings, but we did everything that we could to give you that sense of them being raised. So they were smoothed, as messy a job as that is, and anybody that's done it knows it's a nasty job, but so worthwhile. We did, lots of little things that, if you'd never been here before, you probably wouldn't know that they had been done. And we're proud of that because it means that what we've done is integrated nicely. It's not...
Yeah, you actually moved the fireplace.
We did move the fireplace by...
It's been there forever.
By about a foot, which doesn't sound like a big deal. It's like, why would you go to all that effort to move it by a foot? And the reason for moving it by a foot was so that we could actually create a wall unit on the left-hand side that's built in and will accommodate the TV, so that the TV is not the focal point. The fireplace is beautiful. We wanted a great place for beautiful artwork above it, and still have a place for all of the things you need to have. So
great.
You can see we're sort of shifting now.
Yeah, do you want to show some of the changes in the kitchen?
Yeah, sure. So the kitchen had all of those 25-year-old bulkheads and the old pot lights. We added a lot of pot lights all the way through the space, and really wanted to make sure that the kitchen, although it's not a huge kitchen, it is phenomenally functional and really very well laid out. So those upper cabinets being done in the a light finish and having a reflective quality actually bounces the amount of light. It creates that sense of space. It's quite integral with the rest of the walls. And then the darker cabinets on the bottom do help to ground everything. But we've got this beautiful quartz top, which is one of our favorites. We can't really get enough of it. We're just it is gorgeous and very serviceable and easy to maintain. All of those things. So that is the beauty of quartz. Is there's none of the sealing they required or any of those maintenance issues are kind of eliminated.
The subway tile looks unique.
The subway tile is unique. It's a product out of Spain, actually. And so what we loved about that is it has that sense of really being like brick that's been painted. And I was living in a cottage a couple of years ago that had painted white brick, and I loved it. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, how do we get that feeling without actually having painted brick? So this was the closest thing we could find, and it gives a nice textural relief to the gloss cabinets. So
it's phenomenal. Do you want to head into the master bedroom?
Sure, yeah. Oops, that sounds like yeah, exactly. So a couple little things too is that this doorway, we didn't want to have it being a feature. We really like the idea of it being really streamlined and kind of disappearing. So that is the doorway into the closet.
That is beats your regular bifold closet.
It totally does. It really does. Yeah. So this used to be.
Yeah, this was a linen closet.
It was a linen closet, and it had one of those nasty bifold doors, which we really, makes my stomach hurt. And so what we did instead is we created a cabinet that would accommodate the linens, but would also create a space that was a little more interesting and add a little more personality. And so the little bit of storage that we lost, we felt like we gained in that sense of space and quality and luxury, and we'll see when we go to the ensuite that we found a way to find the space that we took away.
Well, let's have a look at this master bedroom.
Yeah, the master bedroom.
I love all the sun coming.
I know, it's so great, and that is one of the things that's really great about being on this side of the building. Is that all year long we get this really lovely sunshine.
Yeah, the ocean side is nice because you're on the ocean, but it does tend to be a little shiny.
It's a little dark and gloomy.
Here we get the sun and yet a 1 minute walk to the water.
Yeah, exactly. So what we love about this master bedroom is that it's actually large enough for a king size bed, which is really hard pressed to find that in, as you know, in any condo. But it's got lots of room for spacious. It's spacious. There's room for nice size furnishings.
Go out onto the sunny deck.
Yeah, the deck is lovely, and it's accessible from the living room as well.
Yeah.
And so, it provides a spot for a little bit of gardening without too much responsibility.
Now, walking through the ensuite, did you actually change the way these closets were set up?
We did. And so one of the things that we know about the way traditional closets have been designed is that they're designed for 6'8". So they're designed at the same height as doorways are. The challenge with that is accessing all of that square footage or cubic footage that's up above.
And it all counts in this space.
It all counts when you're dealing with smaller spaces. You want to make sure that you take care of every square inch. And so although, it doesn't sound like a big deal, that 5 feet on either side and an extra, 1.5 feet of space, all your summer clothing or your transitional seasonal clothing can be stored up there. So,
awesome.
So yeah.
What a keen attention to detail there.
Yeah. So then we do have a bit of a fondness for glamorous light fixtures. So
I've noticed.
Yeah, you may have noticed in the entrance, in the dining room, in here. We sort of see it as jewelry for houses. So
awesome.
So then the ensuite, really very spacious. Again, really
More
spacious
granite?
ensuite. More quartz actually. And
Sorry,
these,
quartz.
that's okay. So quartz top and the undermounted sinks, of course, again. And these really beautiful glass tiles that we have a real fondness for as well. They just provide.
These are heated tiles?
These are heated, yes, and I have them decadently set to 88 degrees, which is really.
My shoes
I know, exactly. A little bit obnoxious, but the rest of the place. Interestingly enough, when you're in a condo, it's almost never that I turn the heat on in here because I'm kind of, stealing everybody else's heat.
Yeah,
But this is the one spot in the middle of the night. If I wake up, I want to make sure that it's toasty warm and I'm not being jolted awake. So,
awesome.
Yeah, but we did add the towel storage. There's a ton of drawers in here. There's 9 drawers in this bathroom, which is pretty much unheard of, again, in a condo. I mean, it'd be one thing if you were dealing with a, multi-million-dollar house to have this much storage in your ensuite, but
I love how you've used the same quartz in all of the bathroom countertops.
Yeah, we're a big fan of continuity. You
Yeah.
know, it just has that sense of being more thought out and planned rather than looking like we've used leftovers. So
Let's walk through, and I want you to show
Sure.
how you've converted the laundry room into just an
yeah.
intensely usable space. I
Yeah.
thought that was really creative.
Well, and partly because I'm always doing something. So whether it's painting or sewing or creating of some sort,
You can't be doing just laundry.
No,
Yeah.
that would be wrong. I mean, I'm multitasking queen, right? So this space, along with just kind of your standard storage that's above the washer and the dryer, we did take that up to the ceiling as well, so that you'd maximize that. But then we also put in this whole wall unit and desk space so that a person could use it for a home office, for a craft room, a sewing room. But it's got a nice little bit of display space, so you're not feeling like you're not getting any personality here. We also wanted personality and functionality.
Well, it really, prior to you getting your hands on it, it really felt like a storage / laundry room.
Yeah, and that's probably what most people would have done, is just put up a bunch of shelves and just loaded it up with all the stuff that they're not using. But there's a really good sized storage locker downstairs, so there's room for the seasonal stuff to go down there.
Well, and it's so nice to have a dedicated space to work and have a computer that's not in your secondary bedroom.
Right.
So that if you have guests or want to use your second bedroom or something, you have a dedicated space just to work on a laptop.
Well, there's two things. I think in condo living, it feels a bit decadent to have a dedicated office and a dedicated guest room. And the wonderful thing about this is that I got both. Yeah. So it's good. When my daughter and son-in-law and the new baby, the new baby come over, there's actually room for them. So it's pretty great.
Great. Well, let's get the camera on the main bath. So this is the ensuite. This is the main bath. With the same quartz.
So this bathroom, again, we replaced all the toilets, all the sinks, all the faucets, all the cabinets, counters, everything has been replaced. And so this does have a really nice sized shower that's just to the other side of the door. It's not a huge bathroom, but it's very functional. And
love the tile in the shower there.
Yeah, we really love that tile. And so I don't know if everyone can sort of see that, but there's this beautiful hex marble tile for the shower base, and then the same marble in a little listello that's for the backsplash. So.
And then lastly, the second bedroom. We can have a quick look at that.
Sure. So this room, again, we took took the mirror doors all the way up and made sure we maximized the amount of storage that was in here. And one of the things we love about this bedroom is that there's plenty of space. There's room for a chair and a little sitting area. And when I first purchased it, everyone was like, "Oh, those are really quirky windows." I'm like, "No, those are not quirky windows. Those are a design feature."
Yeah.
So it's ended up really being advantageous. Initially we were like, "How are we going to work with that?" And it did. It worked out really, really well. And everyone that comes in here is comfortable and cozy, and so that's kind of all you can hope for with a guest room. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Patti, we really enjoyed talking to you about this condo. It's been absolutely. I love this space. I love your work.
Thank you.
And it's just really helpful to actually hear it right from you, because the changes that you've done here are so thoughtful and there's so much detail. It's easy for me to forget. So hearing it from you is really nice. And to that end, you'll notice in the post, at the top of the post, there's a link which will actually take you to all the architectural photos, which today was about communicating about the changes, but the pictures really show it in the light that they are meant to be seen. And if you'd like to arrange a private showing of this condo, please reach out to me and my team. You can reach out to us at coopergroup.ca. direct message us through the Facebook page that you're viewing this broadcast on, and we'd be happy to arrange a private showing. It's easy to show. It's currently listed for $559,000. It's getting a lot of interest, but you can also call me directly at 250-619-9207. And we thank you very much for your time today, and thank you, Patti.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.